I'm going to start off with the meditation. And the first part of the meditation will be guided. And then the latter part, we will be in silence. And so I'd like to first invite you to bring to mind someone who helped you feel seen or supported, encouraged, or cared for. And as always, just please be gentle with yourself. And the option is for you. If you want to close your eyes at this time or cast your eyes down, um, you may do so. So, for your compassionate connection, you might choose someone living, could be someone from the past, present. It could also be someone who has passed, someone from long ago, or someone in your life today. And as we enter the meditation, if you can't think of a person who feels supportive, you're welcome to bring to mind an animal companion or a place in nature, a spiritual presence, or just simply a felt sense of care. I want you to allow the practice to meet you where you are. So let's begin. If you haven't already, you could find a position that feels supportive for you. You can sit upright if you're in a setting where you can lay down. You can do that. I'll try to awaken you if you've fallen asleep when we conclude. You might also close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. And as I said, or just cast your eyes down, soften your gaze if you keep your eyes open. And I'd also like you to feel the support beneath you. If you're sitting in a chair, notice the chair. Under the chair, there's the floor. Under the floor, there's the earth. I want you to notice that in this moment, you don't have to worry about anything in particular. The chair is supporting you, the floor is holding the chair, the earth is holding all of us. And bringing your awareness to your breath, just noticing the natural rhythm of the breath. You might notice that on your inhale, the belly pooches out a little. On the exhale, tummy goes in. Allow your shoulders to soften, your jaw to relax, your hands to rest. There's nowhere else you need to be right now, nothing you need to solve, nothing you need to prove, nothing you need to become. For this moment, just simply arrive. And perhaps remember that coming home doesn't always require traveling, going somewhere. Sometimes coming home begins from noticing that we're already here. Take a breath. Just sit with that for a moment. And now, very gently, I want you to allow one person to come to mind. It could be someone who, at some point in your life, helped you feel seen. You don't need to search for the perfect person. Just simply notice who arises. Perhaps it's someone who believed in you or believes in you, someone who listened, someone who encourages you, someone who recognizes something in you that you haven't or hadn't fully recognized in yourself. Perhaps they are still living. Perhaps they are no longer physically here. Perhaps they were part of your life for many years. Or perhaps the connection was brief. Simply notice. And if an image comes, just notice where you are. Notice their face, their voice, their presence. And without forcing a memory, see if you can remember, what was it like to be seen by this person? What did they notice in you? And what did they make room for? Like, was there something you didn't have to explain? Like perhaps they saw your strength or your tenderness, your humor, your intelligence. Maybe they saw your creativity. or your struggle. Maybe they saw your possibility. And maybe they simply let you know, I see you. Take a good breath there and just sit with that for a moment. I see you. I want you to notice what happens in the body as you remember this connection. Maybe it's warmth. Maybe it's tenderness. Maybe it's grief. Maybe it's gratitude. Perhaps it's nothing you can name. There's no correct response. Just simply notice. And if it feels right, allow yourself to receive something from this memory, not to grasp, not to hold tightly, simply to receive. Perhaps a word, a feeling, a reminder. Maybe this person helped you believe something about yourself. Maybe they reminded you of a strength. Maybe they helped you feel less alone. Maybe they gave you permission to become more fully yourself. And think for a moment, what of this experience or this connection still lives in me? What of their care, their seeing, their encouragement, or just what in their presence still lives in you? Perhaps the connection did not end when the conversation ended. Perhaps something traveled forward. Let's take a breath here and just sit with that for a moment. I want you to gently bring some awareness back to yourself here today. The person you are now, still learning, still growing, still opening doors, still becoming. Notice your own complexity, your strengths, your tender places, your unfinished places. And perhaps allow this recognition to soften you. Not because you have failed to arrive, but because you're human, still learning yourself, still discovering yourself, still coming home. And perhaps there is humility in remembering this. We are all still becoming. Take a breath. Feel the ground beneath you. And just sit with that for a moment. Now, without needing to choose anyone in particular, begin to sense the wider world around you, the people you will encounter, your family, your friends, colleagues, neighbors, strangers. Remember, you do not have to save everyone. You do not have to heal everyone. You don't have to be everything to everyone. Perhaps begin with one encounter, one conversation, one moment of listening, one opportunity to see. And ask yourself gently, how do I want to inhabit the encounters of my life? Not what must I accomplish, not how do I fix everyone, but how do I want to be present? Perhaps with curiosity, perhaps with kindness, with courage, with honesty, perhaps with boundaries, perhaps simply with attention. And remember, compassionate connection does not require abandoning yourself. You can remain grounded in your own body, your own breath, your own wisdom, your own limits. And from there, meet the person in front of you. So bring to mind one simple possibility, not a grand plan, not the whole world, just one connection, one person you might listen to a little more deeply, one person you might encourage, one person you might thank, one person you might seek. Or perhaps the one compassionate connection needed today is still with yourself. No need to decide anything now. Just simply notice what arises. One connection, one moment, one breath. And perhaps we may never fully know how far one compassionate connection may travel. For the next few moments, few minutes, let the words fall away. No need to solve anything. No need to make a plan. Let yourself rest in the breath and the body. rest in whatever has arisen. And let's have a little time for silence. Now, as we begin to return, notice the breath once again. Notice the body, the support beneath you, the space around you. Perhaps just Gently moving your fingers, wiggling your toes. Allowing your eyes to open when you're ready. And as we jointly return to this shared space, just remember you don't have to save the world in one moment. Perhaps begin with one breath, one moment of presence, one compassionate connection. And perhaps from there, the ripple begins.